We're now joined by 174-pound national champion Mark Hall of Penn State. We'll take an opening statement from Mark to begin, and then questions, please.
Tough tournament. Probably I've wrestled a lot of places. This is one of the tougher places. There's a lot of people out there. I've wrestled around the world, different people, different countries, and you know the important thing, just have fun. I told myself over and over. As soon as a negative thought came in my mind, I replaced it. Jesus loves you, and see a champion over and over. And you know, whether I was to win or not, Jesus would still love me, and I see a champion would one day, in His plan, of course, be fulfilled. But just have fun. Most important thing.
Mark, you know, you're a multi-time world champion in freestyle. A lot of RV rides with Dad, Mark Hall Sr.
Yeah.
Did it ever seem like they were going to pay off like this? And immediately, you know, like you're redshirt. Then all of a sudden you're in the lineup. You lose the Max to Meyer and Carver Hawkeye. All this stuff so up and down for you. Did all the RV rides pay off?
There were hundreds of those, and different people along my journey with me, still with me. You know, some of my best friends, and again, it was just, it's all worth it in the end. I remember calling my dad over and over, asking him, hey, can I pull my red shirt? Can I pull my red shirt? Over and over, no, no, no. And it was ultimately what I wanted to do. I knew it would pay off, and here I am.
You touched on the world titles at both the cadet and junior level. How does this title compare to those?
It's awesome, but you know, I'm still a junior. Still go get another one. You know, that's what I'm going to work for. For sure, I need to get more offense. I got to his legs a lot, but throughout the tournament, I wasn't shooting a lot. So there's still a lot to work on. All those things, it's all build up. One day I want to be an Olympic champion. That's my ultimate goal, and then coach the college team just like Coach Cal is. You know, that's the guy I look up to. If I could be half the man he is, my life would be a perfection. He's a good guy. So yeah, it's all build up, and just one stepping stone at a time.
You touched on pulling your red shirt and winning nationals as a true freshman. Obviously, Cal Sanderson is a full-time national champion. Have you given that any thought?
It's my journey. You know, if I wanted to go on Coach Cal's journey, I wouldn't have pulled my red shirt. You know, he redshirted, and I had already had a loss in my red shirt, so I was gonna have a loss regardless if I pulled my red shirt. So it's something I think about. I'm 1 of 4 right now, and I'm gonna work for my second one. You only win one at a time. Take it one match at a time, one tournament, one duel, things like that. But it's freestyle season now, so.
Mark, you've been saying that size doesn't matter, but I mean, Zahid was 20 pounds heavier than you last year at the Worlds. You know, Bo's a big guy, and you're very technical. And against the bigger guys, you have to wrestle a little differently. Talk about how you had to adjust yourself, because you are not as big as those guys.
Yeah, I got to wrestle smarter. There's a lot of things that can happen in a match like that. You just wrestle smart, you wrestle through it. I don't know. I didn't want to cut any weight. I'll probably go 174 again next year. You know, cutting weight sucks, and it makes the season a long season. I think anyone who cuts weight could tell you the same thing. So, at the end of the day, you know, I said before, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, it's about the size of fighting the dog. And one thing Coach Kill always tells us, it's the story I like. He tells us when a pit bull is around, when a small dog walks by, it doesn't bat an eye. But when a pit bull is around and a big dog comes by, you know, he starts flexing, he puts his fist in the ground, and he's ready to fight. And you know, I'll be the pit bull.
Mark, walk us through the exchange that led to the takedown. At one point it looked like that Bo Jordan had the upper hand in the scramble a little bit, and you ended up getting the takedown. Walk us through that. You know, did you ever think you were in serious trouble in the scramble, or you know, were you confident all the way that you could get the 2?
As long as I kept my hands locked, I knew it was going to be okay. I got in that same kind of scramble against Alex Meyer. I unlocked my hands, and you know, ultimately that didn't pan out for me. Just kept my hands locked. I was ready to finish the match. Finished that takedown. Yeah, I wasn't worried. I get in those scrambles all the time in practice. Keep your hands locked, wrestle through the position.
Speaking of wrestling through positions, you know, you get they review it. What are the coaches saying to you during the review? You know, you obviously, it goes your way. You got a 3-1 lead. You're in good position there to win that match. How much is that play wrestling that you guys do? How much of that really plays into how you guys wrestle? It sounds like you guys do a lot of that.
He was just, Coach Kelly just telling me, you're the man. You're the man, you're the man. You're going to win. Keep wrestling smart, keep your left hand down, circle right, you got this. And yeah, that play wrestling helps a lot, especially with the partners that I have. You know, there's a lot going on. I don't have a bad partner ever, so I'm just always wrestling those positions. I'm always in those positions. There's no reason for me to panic if I'm there all the time. I said it before, you know, there's not a lot of positions you can put me in that I haven't been in, and it's because, you know, I credit my teammates to that, my coaches. They put me in all these positions, just ready for anything.
You talked about your teammates. What does that look like when you're wrestling Nickel, who's wrestling now, and Joseph? When you wrestle those guys in practice, what's that like?
It's competitive. You know, we have days where I might not get a takedown. We have days where, you know, some of our best guys are struggling. And it's just because we're all so good. You know, we're so good out here, but when we're in the room, it's like you're just another guy. You know, there's no favoritism. We're all one, and I think that's a big part of. He's gonna finish. It's a big part of, you know, the legacy we're building. You know, we're all one, and I think, yeah, the partners are who I credit, and again, with just those positions, I'm always in the wrestling there.
Mark, you did say it's freestyle season. You would like to win another junior world title. You looking to do any senior? And are you 74 again? Because that's going to cost you a little bit of weight cutting.
Yeah, I'm 74 again. Ultimately, it's just, yeah, it's 11 more pounds. But, you know, I only do it like 3 or 4 times. It's not as bad. I get to still wrestling smart. My training coaches train us the best. For a fact, I'd put it up with anyone. Yeah, it's freestyle season. I'm ready. We're going to win another junior world title. You know, try my shot at the senior world team if I get that chance.
Last question, please.
I know it's hard doing this interview with Bo out there wrestling, Dean, but you know, where would you be without Mark Hall Sr.? And how much of a driving force has he been behind everything you've done? And I've never seen a dad so invested in his son, man. And he really loves you, and he's behind you all the way. What's it been like having a dad like that?
My dad, oh man, you know, he's always been pushing me. He always made sure I was at the right places when I needed to be. I was in the right places when I needed to be. I never had any time for playing around. I never had any time for, you know, I was hanging out with friends, but at the end of the day it was school and wrestling, and that's what I'm living for right now. I'll have fun, you know, after my career is over with. Hopefully by that time I'll have like 40, 50 years left on me, so yeah, but he's always pushed me, and I think credit goes to my mom too. You know, there's no easy way out with her, and yeah.
Thank you, Mark Hall.